Hi, welcome to Box on the Box Rock and Celluloid, or BOCBRAC for short. So today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 prison films. So really interesting genre, the prison film. When you look into it, there's actually so many examples of this. And I think it's something, it's a real staple that like certain directors like to explore and so on. So let's just talk about a few films that didn't make the cut. Firstly, Brubaker. Robert Redford, 1980, quite a success in its day, $37 million gross, so well over $100 million in today's money. Don't see it on TV that often, but directed by Stuart Rosenberg. And he plays a guy who's going to be the warden, or is a warden of the prison, but they don't know that. He goes in undercover to investigate what's going wrong in the prison and the treatment of the prisoners. Really good. Another film that actually is really good and has that idea of someone undercover sort of in the prison is the film Cell 211. So it stars Luis Tosar, who's a great Spanish actor, who's like the big cheese in the prison. There's another young lad it's his first day as a guard, and he gets caught up in the riot, so they don't know he's a guard, so he poses as a new prisoner and befriends the Tosar character, and a riot goes on. Really good. Then you got a couple of riot ones, Right in Cell Block 11, the classic Don Siegel one from 1954, and Right in Cell Block 99, Vince Vaughn's one. That actually starts off outside the prison, so it's not all prison film. So when he ends up inside, it's super violent. It's actually one of the most violent films I've ever seen. It's horrific, but it's well worth checking out. The guy who directed that film did Bone Tomahawk, Dragged Across Concrete, so it's well worth seeing. And another film that's kind of a mix, really, I nearly put it in because I do love it, is Runaway Train. So great prison footage in this, really captures the dehumanisation of the John Voight character. And the warden's an absolute bastard, so this is a real staple of the prison film, is the warden who's a complete and utter shit. But the second half of the film's basically the escape on the train, so it's not as much prison-based, but John Voight overacts for all he's worth, and I really enjoy it. Sci-fi. Three cheesy sci-fi prison films. You've got No Escape, Fortress and Lockout. Guy Pearce, that's basically a remake of Escape from New York, which is kind of a sort of breaking into a prison film. I've actually got a soft spot for No Escape, the Ray Liotta action directed by Martin Campbell, who did GoldenEye, and it's actually got some nice action touches, and it's that film that got Martin Campbell the gig on Bond. So quite like that. Then you got sport in the prison film, The Longest Yard, or British title, it's Mean Machines, Burt Reynolds film. So Burt Reynolds films are shit, really, even those ones were like as kids, but Deliverance, Mean Machine, Hustle are really good in 72, 74, 75, and Mean Machine Hustle was directed by Robert Aldridge. So this is a really good film. So it's got some comedy elements, which I think were kind of picked up for the film, Paul Newman film Slapshot, another sport film, but it's pretty gritty in places, some nasty bits, and then the ending's really tense, where Burt Reynolds may get shot by one of the guards. Really good. What else have we got? Yeah, The Great Escape's a great prison war film, but it just feels like, it's more than a prison film. It's a beloved guys on a kind of a mission film, but it's, a beloved war film. So I've not included that here. And Con Air's top action film, it's got prisoners, but it's not set in the prison. Another good one's Das Experiment. That was remade in America as The Experiment, and you can also see the Stanford prison experiment. So that's the film about what this was based on, but it's when they did an experiment at the university. Some people were guards, some people were inmates. So it's a mock-up prison, not strictly a prison film, but it is interesting. There's The Escapist, the Brian Cox prison film. That's good, directed by Rupert Wyatt, who did my Rise of the Planet of the Apes, one of my favourite films of the 2010s, my favourite trilogy of that era. Another film, Green Mile, that was one that nearly made it. Shit one, Law Abiding Citizen with Gerard Butler, absolutely ridiculous. I know you've been wronged, Gerard Butler, in this film, but there's no need to go fucking this far, basically. Absolutely ridiculous, but check it out. A special one I've seen on Movie Drone. I used to watch a show called Movie Drone. The film director Alex Cox, who'd introduced a film many years ago. I've only seen this once, but it was really good. It's A Man Escaped. I think it's 1956, Robert Bresson, the French director. So his style is minimalism. He does a film called Pickpocket, which is a big influence on Martin Scorsese. And it just pares down the prison escape movie to real simplicity. It's got really simple production design. Not a lot happens, but it's really gripping. So I strongly recommend you check that out. So I'm just looking at my list, and this one's a really good film. It's just too grim to put in. You know, I keep meaning to watch it again, but it's so grim. It's Hunger. Great performance from Michael Fassbender as Bobby Sands. Brilliant direction by Steve McQueen. Again, capturing the dehumanisation of the prison, and obviously those times in British history, recent British history, with you know, hunger strikers and so forth. So brilliant piece of filmmaking. But you know, I wanted something a bit lighter. So I think that's covered the ones that didn't make the cut. So starting off, coming at number 10 is Startup. So this is David Mackenzie directs this. He did the great Hell or High Water, the film with Chris Pine, and a lovely performance by Jeff Bridges. After this, but he's got Jack O'Connell in sort of a bit of a star-making role for him, really. I think he was in Eden Lake before this, playing a horrible little cunt. He plays a young criminalist. He gets started, he kind of gets moved up to the next level, and like In the Name of the Father, he ends up in prison with his dad. And his dad, it's about their relationship, really. His dad's played by Ben Mendelsohn, and his dad's kind of keeping on the straight and narrow and trying to stop him, I suppose, ending up like him. And he's, you've got the big cheese as usual in the prison, and Ben Mendelsohn's character is kind of friends with him. He's part of like the sort of central prison governance, I suppose. But it's a really good film. It's gritty. I'm looking forward to see it again. And it's got great performances. So that's like probably one of the best modern ones. So coming in at number 9, you've got to have a bit of cheesy action in your prison films. Two crap ones are considered as In Hell and Death Warrant, Jean-Claude Van Damme. But I think this one's a really good example. And I think it gets kind of missed out in his, when we think about his films sometimes. 'Cause it wasn't a big hit. But I do like it. So it's directed by a director called John Flynn. So he's a classic 70s kind of thick ear action director in the Don Siegel mould. He did The Outfit with Robert Duvall and some other stuff, which escapes me. But it's Lock Up, the Sylvester Stallone film. So Sylvester Stallone goes to prison. He's kind of, it shouldn't be, it's a technicality or something. I can't remember now totally. It's Tom Sizemore's in it. Donald Sutherland plays the warden, who's an absolute psycho. He's basically in there pitching for the biggest bastard warden ever. It's really good. Sly turns, he exposes the corruption of the warden and, the injustice that he's experienced. But Sly's good. You can empathise with his character. He's good at playing blue-collar characters. I was just thinking, actually, there's a film with Tom Selleck called An Innocent Man. I think its American title's Hard Rain, because his character's called Jimmy Rain. It's actually pretty good. So Tom Selleck, after Three Men and a Baby, he's trying to go more gritty, and he teams up with Peter Yates, a director of Bullet. It's pretty good. He's basically gets fitted up by some bad, dodgy feds, sent to prison. He ends up going quite hard because he actually has to take out another prisoner. He makes a weapon to duke him with a shank. And it's a really gritty scene. So that's well worth checking out. There's another film with Nicholas Coster-Waldau as well that came out recently where it's a similar thing. He gets done for drunk driving. He's like a businessman. He ends up in prison. He has to get protection. He ends up going hardcore and comes out as like a drug baron. And I forget the name of it, but go on Nicholas Coster-Waldau's filmography and you'll find it. It's similar. So there's a couple of films that would make the cut. Anyway, so let's lock up number 9. Sorry, digressing there. Number 8, I'm going for probably Sean Connery's finest performance as an actor. 1966 is The Hill. So this is set in a military prison. A bit like The Last Castle, the Robert Redford, James Gandolfini film. Again, the people in charge are bastards. They make the guys go up and down a hill in horrible heat with gas masks on. It's brilliantly shot by the cinematographer with Sidney Lumet, the director. He uses lots of wide-angle lenses. Really cool black and white cinematography. It's a good bit where they're going up the hill and the camera's in the gas mask. Really good performances. Harry Andrews is in it, Ian Bannon, Alfred Lynch, Roy Kinnear as well. All really good. Is it Michael Redgrave as well as he in it? Yes, he plays the doctor. Yeah, very good film. Well worth checking out. So that's 1966 is The Hill at number 8. Number 7, I am going for Birdman of Alcatraz. So John Frankenheimer knocks out a couple of classics in 1962, this and Manchurian Candidate. So Burt Lancaster plays Robert Stroud, the real-life Birdman of Alcatraz. Basically, he's in there a long time. Apparently, in real life, he's a right psycho. Not as nice as he is in the film. And he starts studying the birds that inhabit the island from his cell, draws pictures, and basically becomes an expert on the birds that inhabit that area around Alcatraz Island. So really this film's that liberal sort of thing about, prisoners. Do you lock them up to punish them, or do you lock them up to and try and rehabilitate them? And, it's about that. He discovers something that gives him some of a purpose inside the prison. He's got a riot bit that he doesn't take part in. The riot in a prison's an essential part of the genre. So that's number 7, really good film. And number 6, okay, so this will shock people. So I think it's a beautiful film. I love it. I do like it. I think one of the reasons that I never loved it quite as much as other people did is I read the short story it was based on, which was Rita Hayworth in New York, Shawshank Redemption, from Stephen King's novella Different Seasons, his book, 4 short stories. The other one's The Body, which was made into Stand By Me, An Apt Pupil, which was made into a film, Ian McKellen, Brad Renfro. I can't remember what the other story's called. But anyway, I read the story, so when it gets to the point in the film where the warden throws the pebble and it goes through the poster, I knew that was coming. So if you weren't aware that was going to happen, that would be very, very rewarding when you first see The Shawshank. I think the other reason I've never been quite as gaga over it as other people are, I've never quite connected with Tim Robbins, not just his character, Tim Robbins as an actor. Don't know why that is. Good actor, I just, I just don't know, why that is. Love Morgan Freeman, obviously, and the rest of the cast, Clancy Brown, the Kurgan's in it, really good. Beautiful music, uplifting story, and for many people, not just the best prison film of all time, but one of the best films of all time. It's in this list. I do like it. Obviously, The Green Mile's another good one, but that's more supernatural, same director. But it didn't quite make the cut. So I'll see you for part 2, numbers 5 to 1. Cheers.